Just when you think far left Democrat plans to stick it to Donald Trump couldn't be any more outlandish, Democrat New York Senator Liz Krueger has now called for New York to withhold its tax revenue so they can secede from the United States and join Canada. According to Krueger, New York contributes approximately $362 billion annually in tax revenue to the federal government and relies on $85 billion in federal aid. Well, now they say, adios, America, we'd like to join Canada. Senator Krueger stated, why do I have to leave this country? I love this country, and if Trump wins a second term, it's not actually my fault or the people in New York. New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Vermont would combine and be a great new province as the Southeast province of Canada. Basically, everybody in these states are progressive Democrats. We would fit in pretty well with the political philosophy of at least most of the Canadian elected officials. Well, number one, go ahead, goodbye. And number two, Trudeau is most likely going to lose the election to a conservative. In fact, almost every country around the globe has become more conservative, not just the Trump-loving United States of American citizens. But by withholding federal taxes, this senator hopes to have leverage against Donald Trump, who's threatening to cut funding to New York if it doesn't deport undocumented illegal immigrants. This is just craziness. The lengths these people are willing to go to stick it to Trump, as well as support illegal immigrants who broke into the country and are now living off of our tax money. Now, in regards to immigration, earlier this week, we talked about Trump threatening Mexico, China, and Canada with higher tariffs on all products if they don't agree to stunt the flow of illicit drugs and illegal immigrants. Well, earlier this week, Sheinbaum has agreed to stop immigration into the United States. That's the new president of Mexico. In a Truth Social post, President Trump stated, just had a wonderful conversation with the new president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo. She has agreed to stop migration through Mexico and into the United States, effectively closing our southern border. We also talked about what can be done to stop the massive drug inflow into the United States, and also U.S. consumption of these drugs. It was a very productive conversation. Now, in response to this, conservative commentator DC Drano posted on X, crazy that it only took one phone call to effectively stop the illegal invasion. And he's not even in office yet. Just shows how intentional the invasion was for 4 years. Now, let me know in the comments. I completely agree with DC Drano. Biden could have picked up the phone and stopped the 15 million people flowing into our country with one phone call. But because he's a spineless, feckless, anti-American governor of our country, this is what he did. Now, by governor, I mean somebody governing over the country. I know he's the president. Now, it's funny just how fast people make changes when they know they're dealing with someone respectable. But as I stated before, the act of threatening tariffs is usually enough to get people to bend. A lot of the time, they agree to demands before the tariffs get imposed. Now, think about this. This would have hurt so many Mexican businesses, many of them American businesses that moved to Mexico. Well, guess what? If you want access to the greatest economy in the world, then you have to either pay for that access or keep America safe. And Donald Trump is saying, hey, you can either pay or you can help make the country safe again. And they're going with the keep the country safe again route. Now, speaking of foreign leaders, Vladimir Putin claimed that Trump is still not safe. During a recent press conference, Vladimir Putin of Russia stated, I am amazed that absolutely uncivilized means have been used against Trump, all the way up to assassination attempts, numerous assassination attempts. I think he is not safe even now. Now, it's sad when someone like Putin has to point out that Donald Trump needs to be kept safe. that he's not even safe in his own country. I'm just praying for President Trump to be safe the next 4 years. Now, despite the evil intentions of those behind the assassination attempts, their failures ultimately contributed to Donald Trump's historic comeback as 47th president of the United States. Now, a monument is currently in the works to honor the strength Trump displayed during that pivotal moment. I want to point out how rare this is. Typically, statues are only made to honor events from distant past, not current times. For instance, the same Ohio artist, Alan Cottrill, who previously created the Thomas Edison statue in the United States Capitol Statuary Hall, has been commissioned to design this one to honor President Trump when he stood up and said, "Fight, fight, fight." This upcoming monument will be named the Patriot Statue and will be 2 stories in height. It will be the largest Cottrill has ever created and will feature Donald Trump with his fist raised in a symbol of defiance and triumph. One of the project leaders, Dustin Stockton, explained the statue's grandeur, saying, "It had to be Trumpian. It had to be larger than life and over the top." And that's exactly what it's going to be. All right, now a quick word from our sponsor and then a couple of really big stories I want to tell you about. The wellness company wants to make America healthy again, starting with you. From innovative supplements to keep you in optimal health, to an array of emergency kits providing you peace of mind from the unexpected. Now, the wellness company has everything you need to give thanks to yourself. This is the biggest sale of the year. Black Friday deals. They're already going right now. And you can save up to 25% on supplements, emergency kits, and membership. All of the well care you need delivered to your front door. This is the best time of year to stock up, grab your faves, and enjoy the extra savings. Head to twc.health/amazing and enjoy the Black Friday savings. The sale ends Sunday night, December 1st. So take advantage of this short window to stock up, try new products, or an emergency kit you've been eyeing, or grab a gift card for family members and friends. Again, head to twc.health/amazing. Remember, you can't put a price on your health. Okay, now back to Russia. Even though Russia previously claimed a Kamala Harris victory would be better for them, Russia has since switched their story. While Russian President Vladimir Putin recently acknowledged their relationship with the United States is damaged, he seemed confident Trump could restore it. He stated, "As far as I can imagine, the newly elected president is an intelligent and already quite experienced person. I think he will find a solution." Now, some people might think Putin was lying about wanting Kamala Harris to win, but I don't think that's true. It's not because he believes Harris would help the U.S. It's because he believed that her feckless inexperience would actually benefit Russia. Just look at how poorly Biden has handled things. He sent massive amounts of American money and U.S. weapons to Ukraine, while also giving Russia an advantage by cutting back on oil production. When Biden shut down the Keystone Pipeline, he made the world depend more on oil from Russia than from the United States. This gave Russia billions and billions of dollars they would have never had in order to attack Ukraine. Even President Trump has pointed this out. Now, speaking of these American-provided assets to Ukraine, Ukrainian President Zelensky has been using them, and it's starting to anger Vladimir Putin. In response, Putin has just threatened to keep targeting government buildings in Ukraine with highly advanced hypersonic missiles that even the U.S. military can't defend against or intercept. But even though Putin has claimed many times he wants the war to end, Ukrainian President Zelensky is arguing that Putin is a liar. He stated, "Putin wants to escalate the situation now that President Trump fails to end the war. Putin is the only culprit in this war. That's why Putin's escalation now is a form of pressure aimed at forcing the President of the United States to accept Russia's terms." All right, now this Zelensky guy's starting to piss me off. What do you mean the failure of Donald Trump to end the war? Bro, he's not even president yet. He's already talked to you. He's already talked to Putin. This war is coming to an end. And if you want to continue to sacrifice the Ukrainian people and your land and your buildings over a stupid war, that's on you, bro. But Donald Trump, he's about to pull your money and your weapons and support. And then you will grovel at the feet of Vladimir Putin. Now, I'm not pro-Russia and I'm not anti-Ukraine, but this war is coming to an end. And Donald Trump has not failed to end it. He hasn't even begun. Now, while I understand Zelensky's point, President Biden was the one who gave permission for Ukraine to strike deep into Russia after Kamala Harris lost her election. This new threat from Russia is in response to Biden's escalation. When Trump gets into office, I am confident that this will end. And honestly, I feel bad for Ukraine, as I think they'll come to understand they were being used as a Biden pawn in order to attack Vladimir Putin in Russia. Too many lives were wasted for no reason whatsoever. This war has been stagnant for over a year. Over 1 million people dead, over 10 million Ukrainians forced into other European nations. Now, thankfully, it seems like Zelensky realizes he only has one option, and that is to give up land. During an interview with Sky News, Zelensky stated, "If we want to stop the hot phase of the war, we need to take under the NATO umbrella the territory of Ukraine that we have under our control. We need to do it fast, and then on the occupied territory of Ukraine, Ukraine can get them back in a diplomatic way." So basically what he's saying is NATO should end the war and then immediately accept Ukraine into NATO. And then once they are a NATO nation, they should try to use diplomacy in order to get those areas back from Russia. But my guess is this isn't going to happen. It's the main reason Putin attacked Ukraine is that they wanted to join NATO, and NATO and the United States put missiles on the border of Russia. So of course Russia would attack. Now, for the first time, Zelensky has offered a real way of moving past the war. However, this plan involves Ukraine as we know it to become part of NATO, which again, I don't believe will happen. I think Ukraine NATO membership is possible if he permanently gives up enough territory. That way, Russia will have a buffer between them and a NATO nation, but I don't know that that is going to happen. All right, now some new crazy data is coming out of New York. No wonder New York shifted to the red side. No wonder so many New Yorkers voted for Donald J. Trump. Too bad he didn't win the state, but listen to this. It's now been discovered that more than 58,000 illegal immigrants who are convicted felons or have criminal pasts are roaming the streets of New York City. That's right. Of the 670,000 people that have gone to New York, 58,000 of them we now know have criminal history. Of the 759,000 illegal border crossers residing in the state of New York, that means that between 7 to 10% of the known people are criminals. Wait a minute. I thought they said that Donald Trump was a racist, xenophobic, misogynist who was making up stuff. And now New York's own data is proving that they have been flooded with criminals. Why they wouldn't want to get these people out, I have no idea. Now, here's what Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis had to say. In many cases, they've provided them with housing, food, and health care. They need to stop using New Yorkers' hard-earned tax dollars to shield criminals wreaking havoc on our streets and instead cooperate with ICE to have them deported. Now, listen, let me know in the comments. If you lived in New York, would you want your hard-earned tax money to go towards housing and feeding and giving lawyers to criminals? Or would you rather that money be used to get them the hell out of your state? Let me know in the comments down below. Based on my reaction, you already know my answer. Now, Congresswoman Malliotakis revealed she's been requesting similar data from the NYPD since January through a FOIL request. That's the Freedom of Information Law. But New York State has been stonewalling her. However, the data is out now. Over 58,000 people are criminals, suspected criminals, or known gang members, according to ICE data. This is really, really shocking. And why they would want to work so hard to keep drug traffickers, gang members, criminals, murderers in their state is just absolute insanity in my mind. All right, from ABC News, we just got a big update on the P. Diddy trial. A New York federal judge denied P. Diddy his request to be released to his home on bail, finding by clear and convincing evidence that this hip-hop mogul is potentially dangerous and that no condition or combination of conditions will reasonably assure the safety of the community. So here's why. CNN dropped a bombshell video from 2016 where Sean P. Daddy Combs is seen aggressively beating his girlfriend in the hallway of a hotel. Now, he kicked her in the face, he slapped her, he punched her, then kicked her again, then dragged her down the hall by her hand and her hair. So this is a violent man who has been using extortion and blackmail in order to capture people and get them to comply with what he wants to do. Now, do you think the truth will come out about the people going to the P. Diddy parties? I mean, it's all on audio. It's all on videotape. But we know that many of them are Hollywood elites, music industry elites, and Washington, D.C. politicians who regularly attended these parties. So let me know in the comments down below. I think, just like Jeffrey Epstein, he will go through a trial, but everything will be redacted. And the very people that should put him in jail are likely compromised and will put him in jail, but redact their own names. And if he tries to speak up, he'll probably get Jeffrey Epstein himself. All right. Hey, have a great weekend. I love you guys. Give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next video.